Bout 8 brought to you by Modelo Especial. This is a catchweight fight. Both fighters agreed to 141 pounds. Al Jones, 4 years older than Quentin Gaskins, 1 inch shorter. Both looking to get those records up. As you see, Al Jones 2-3, Quentin Gaskins 1-4. Al Jones coming in 1 pound less than Quentin Gaskins. Al Jones taking his time coming into this cage. And with that, let's throw it up to David Diamante. He has the official introductions for this catchweight fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Westbury, New York for an exciting evening of mixed martial arts action. And it's all being brought to you courtesy of Jimmy Birchfield CES MMA New York. Sponsored by Duff Electric. Your referee for this contest is Nels Larson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 3 rounds scheduled at a catch weight of 141 pounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, this man is a freestyle fighter standing 5'7" tall. He weighed in at 141 3/4 pounds. Tonight, he steps into the cage for his 6th time as a professional, representing Ultimate Athletics, fighting out of Elmira, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, Quentin QG Gaskins. And his opponent across the cage fighting out of the red corner. This man is also a freestyle fighter. He stands 5'6" tall. He's scaled at 139 pounds. His professional record, 2 wins against 3 defeats. He has 1 win coming by way of knockout and 1 by submission. Representing Long Island MMA, fighting out of New York City, ladies and gentlemen, Al Jones.
All right, Dan, here we go.
All right, we're underway. Bantamweight here. Al Jones is in the pink shorts. Quentin Gaskins in the red. Your third man in the cage, referee Nels Larson.
And they did not touch gloves. Usually the customary glove touch to start the fight. Al Jones is locked in, ready to go. Beautiful leg kick.
Al Jones took this fight on 3 weeks' notice. And I tell you what, Jay, he's coming off a 3-fight losing streak. He told us backstage that if I don't win this fight, I have to question my career here. So this is a big fight for Al Jones.
Al Jones was very focused. Some of the fighters like talking to us and some don't before the fight, but he was very focused and gave us a lot of info.
Oh, nice right hand by Jones. Sorry to cut you off, Jay.
Beautiful 1-2 from Al Jones right down the middle, using his jab and his right hand over the top.
As for Quentin Gaskins, 28 years old, freestyle fighter from Power of One MMA, he's dropped his last 4 fights. So I say that Al Jones is hungry. So is Quentin Gaskins as he scores a takedown here.
Quinn with a nice takedown, but Al Jones working to get up.
Oh, big right hand there from Gaskins as Jones he's got him up against the cage.
When they were exchanging, Dan, I saw Al lead with a left hook. I'm curious to see if he's going to do that again. Usually the first punch in the combination is a jab, but he opened with that left hook. I'm curious to see if he's going to start with that again. But Quinn doing a nice job pushing him up against the cage and working a takedown.
Yeah, I think Al wants to get back into the center of the cage. His stand-up looked really good early on.
It did look good, Dan. And as he lands a really nice knee to the body.
So Al's bouncing on his feet. He's right in the center of the cage, showing that jab.
And we hear Al's coach, Ryan LaFleur, right behind us, telling him to work that jab.
Nice counter right from Jones. He just mirrors. Haskins look a little gassed here. 2 minutes into round number 1.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful leg kick by Al. Oh, and a big right hand. Al is comfortable in the pocket today, Dan.
He just did something a few moments ago that I rarely see from MMA fighters. That's a punch to the body.
Yes.
Scored a nice right to the body. I'm a boxing guy. I know if you go to the body early, the head will fall later.
Well, Ray Longo loves the punch to the chest.
Quentin Gaskins with a nice 1-2.
Very competitive round here, Dan. Now, the big factor in this fight becomes the C word, the cardio. The cardio.
You're absolutely right. We're 3 minutes into round number 1, scheduled for 5 in the bantamweight division. Eddie Haskins in the red trunks has Al Jones in the pink trunks up against the cage. It's been a good competitive round number 1 here. Tough one to score.
Very tough so far. We're going to have to really look into the later part of this round. Al needs to circle away from the fence. He needs to move away from the fence and get back to where he's comfortable in the middle of the cage and striking. But Quinn's doing a nice job of trying to work this takedown. He does have Al's both legs, and he's going to lift and drive here.
Tell you what, that's taking a lot of energy out of Haskins.
Al Jones is doing a nice job with this takedown defense, so credit to him.
One minute remaining here, round number 1. Gaskins has Jones up against the cage. Not really doing much, though, from this position.
Still very tiring, both sides of the position. But again, Al needs to circle his back away from the cage and move towards the center of the ring.
I'll tell you what, though, just as much energy as it takes for Gaskins to try to take down Jones. Jones is fighting us off. That takes out a lot of energy.
Yes,
as well.
it does, as he lands some elbows to the side of the head. Quentin Gaskins is not giving up on this takedown. Usually you see fighters after a minute, they'll transition to something else, push away, and restart. But here he is sticking with this takedown.
Yeah. Referee Nels Larson getting a really good look here. I mean, Gaskins isn't really working on anything. Maybe getting a breather down there.
Now Jones laying the hammer at the end of the round with the elbows
Round
to the
number
temple.
1 comes to a close. About 2 minutes into that round, Jay, I said this is a really competitive round. It'll be tough to score, but I really like what I saw from Al Jones in those remaining 2 minutes. He did enough on my card. I'm not officially scoring this, but if I were to, I would give round 1 to Al Jones. What are your thoughts?
Very, very, very close round. I would definitely lean a little towards Al Jones. But remember, the pressure by Quentin Gaskins does score you points in fights. So that will get him some points, but he didn't get the takedown. So what do you credit more? The fact that Al Jones was able to stop the takedown, or the fact that Quentin was trying over and over to get the takedown but was not able to?
I'm going to give credit to Al Jones for fighting off the takedown 1 and landing blows while in the defense. That mixed with his first 2 rounds of landing a few nice shots, some counter rights. But a very competitive round number 1.
That's why we have 3 of these, Dan.
The bell rings, but the ring girls are still in there. And they're sauntering around.
We need to get the ring girls out of the ring for safety purposes.
The ring girls are just sauntering around the cage. I got to tell them, Jessica and Larissa, that there's a fight going on here.
Yes, we don't want them to get hurt. They have a nice, easy job, and let's keep it that way.
It's easy to you, Jay. You
Yes.
ever gone in there?
I haven't.
Walking around in a bikini?
I don't think I'm going to.
Round number 2 underway here. Dan Canobio, Jason Griggs coming to you from the Space at Westbury Theater for a truly historic night for the promotion. CES MMA's first MMA event here in New York. Of course, we got big fights coming up. John Gotti, he fights in a little bit, as well as our main event, Matthew Secor against Adam Sepulveda. So big time action here, so I want to stick with us.
As I'm watching this, Dan, early in the second round, I think Al is definitely the fresher fighter. So let's see if Quentin can put as much output as he did in the first round. But I think we're going to see Al pick up the pace here.
What do we have here, Jay?
So Al is pointing to the middle of the ring here.
He's
slipping on the graphic. And this was a problem brought up by the commission prior to the fight.
You got to get those logos on there. They're important to the sponsors. They're important to why we're gathered here. CES MMA sign. It looked like Al slipped on it.
He did. He went to front kick, and his back left foot slipped out. So good for him for pointing the issue out to the referee, and we continue.
The action continues. Nice left hand from Al Jones.
Nice right kick by Al Jones, right to the liver. Another big leg kick by Al Jones. But Quinton catches.
There it is, the takedown he was working so hard on round number 1. He gets it here in number 2. Let's see what Gaskins does with it.
Nice work by Al Jones. Immediately gets up, back up against the fence.
Listen, these are two very hungry fighters.
Those leg kicks, Dan, are devastating. They are going to take a toll. Al Jones working in the striking and then the leg kicks to the body. And we have another slip on the graphic.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's certainly an issue here. And we're seeing it, second fight of the night.
We do not want to see any of the fighters get injured.
Got another timeout. Commission talking to the referee here.
They might have to come take this graphic up.
If that's the case, that's going to take a while.
I don't think so, Dan. I think they're just going to pull it.
Rip it right out?
Yeah, like a Band-Aid. Like a Band-Aid. Rip it right off.
Is it just the CES sign that's causing the issues? I think we all know why we're here. We're all watching CES MMA right now. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube.
I'm watching the New York State Athletic Commissioner right now, and she is instructing someone to pull this thing up. So it looks like she is not happy.
No, fighter safety is what's most important. I mean, more than these signs here. But I think they're going to go through with this. Referee Nels Larson giving some instructions.
I think the referee, Dan, is asking them what they want to do. If they want to continue.
Of course they're going to want to continue.
Or do they want to wait? Oh, they're gonna continue.
And here we go. Back underway.
Okay.
I don't know who this favors here because Quinton Gaskins scored a nice takedown. Al Jones reversed it. We had a stoppage in time here.
I think Al Jones has a really nice jab, and if he continues to set it up where he uses the jab first and then combinates off the jab where he sets up these leg kicks. But watch for the jab first, the first punch in the combination from Al Jones.
Yeah, you want to see that jab, the right, and then the leg kick.
Yes.
That's when everything is flowing all together.
Well, Al Jones' striking is flowing together right now, and he is turning it on.
Listen, he said he won his last fight, and that was a real game changer for him. He said if I had lost that fight, I would have had to, think about my career here. He's going for 2 in a row here. And Eric Gaskins got a chin on him. Wow.
Yes, Quinton is tough. And he's looping his punches a little now, but he is willing to stand and bang with Al Jones. But this is a smart move by Quinton. If he's losing these exchanges in the stand-up, take him to the cage and grind Al against the cage and try to work another takedown.
Now we're back in the same position that we saw ourselves in round number 1, where Gaskins going for that takedown up against going up against the cage. Now, if you're Gaskins in this situation, Jay, you tried valiantly in the first round to get this takedown. Are you gonna go for it here, or are you gonna kind of labor there?
Well, he's losing the striking battle in the middle of the cage, so yes, I would continue to work this takedown. This isn't a dangerous position for him. He can't really get hurt. Although Al Jones is landing those effective elbows to the side of his head. So he needs to either go 100% in for this takedown or he needs to pull out of it, because what's happening is Al Jones is scoring points here. But he is relentless on this takedown. Credit to Quentin Gaskins. Wow.
Under 1 minute here, round number 2. We're scheduled for 3. It's a catch weight of 141 pounds. Quentin Gaskins in the red. And Al Jones fighting a very good fight in the pink.
So Al Jones, what he needs to do, he needs to just circle away. If he could circle away here, he'll be right back in the middle where he wants to be. Oh, man, those rabbit punches on the inside from Al Jones. Landing.
That's the end of round number 2. Tough one to score, Jay. We had the timeout there in between, but, you know, don't take away from the fact that Gaskins did get that takedown earlier in the round.
Yes, he did.
Al Jones was able to land some good striking as he has for the early part of the fight. So take a look at the replay here, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, Al was super effective with those leg kicks, but here's the nice takedown, nice trip from Quentin Gaskins early in the round. And as the round, Al quickly got up from that takedown, and Al was dominating in the stand-up, but then towards the later part of the round, Quentin Gaskins, again, relentless with that takedown attempt.
Now you take a look at Gaskins' corner here. What do you think you're telling him?
He's telling him, I would tell
Ladies
him,
and
you got to
gentlemen,
get this
this
takedown.
is the third and final round.
Yeah, when- All right, third and final round. It's been an ultra-competitive fight between Al Jones and Quentin Gaskins.
So Quentin comes out with a nice overhand right that connects. And now Quentin switches to southpaw. But Al is standing right down the middle. And let's see that jab again. Oh, beautiful right hand over the top by Al. Beautiful
Nice
counter.
check right. How do you have this one scored, Jay? Do you see it 1-1? Or did you get that?
I
that
could
second
see
round
it
out?
1-1. I personally have it 2-0 Al Jones. I think he is definitely more effective, even though he's on the defense against those takedowns. He is landing strikes. So I have it 2-0 Al Jones.
One thing you can see right here is Al Jones is on the balls of his feet bouncing. Haskins, a little red in the face, kind of plodding a little bit if you want to look for, aesthetically.
Al with a beautiful uppercut. Now they're really exchanging here.
What I'm saying is Al looks a little fresher.
I think he is the fresher fighter. But Al needs to get out of this position. He's winning in the stand-up. He needs to circle away and get to the middle. Nice foot stop by Quentin there.
Goes to the other foot as well.
Yep.
He said, Al Jones, before this fight, he wanted to be patient. He wanted to be calm. He's in a big fight right here. He's in a war now.
Well, Dan, everything he told us pre-fight, he is doing to a T. He's listening to his coaches. He's throwing his jab. He's putting his combinations together, and he's mixing it in with his leg kicks.
He also said he wanted to throw more elbows and knees on the feet, and we're seeing that as he's been in this position for most of this fight against the cage.
I think we're close to an opportunity where the ref can break it up, because this is such a good fight in the middle of the cage.
Referee Nels Larson, he hasn't broken him up all fight.
The fans are getting a little restless here.
I mean, Gaskins he's not doing much besides, outside of a few foot stomps.
See, I think Al, now he's going to clinch his hands together. See, I think Al can work out of this. He just needs to circle away, move his hips to the outside and circle.
You know that Al wants to get back to that center of the octagon where he can, throw those 1-2s, land those kicks, get back to his strengths. Because right now, up against the cage, there's not much he can do.
See, Al has both underhooks. So he has his hands under Gaskins and
I think we got a low blow.
And a big low blow.
You heard him squeal a little bit there. That was a big one. Quentin Gaskins, I know he's going to get the 5 minutes necessary here. You get 5 minutes for an illegal blow, especially below the belt.
We're going to see the replay.
I would like to see a replay. It would be our man Mike is working back there putting on a show. There it is. How good is Mike?
Oh.
That knee was to the midsection.
That was a legal knee.
Thank you to our producer back there for getting that replay. That showed you. It landed right in the midsection. And for Gaskins, I don't blame him. Listen, you're in the third round. Take a look at it one more time. You're in the third round. Why not get yourself a little break here?
And here it comes. Oh, right in the rib. Doesn't even come close. Oh, beautiful knee by Al Jones. Wow. That's a huge development. That fight was over if... Wow.
Action resumes. Quentin Gaskins gets about a 3-minute break. But you know what? They separated from that clinch, and Al Jones is right back in the center of the octagon where he wants to be. Let's see if Al Jones has the killer instinct.
Big over the top right and left by Quentin Gaskins. Oh, thunderous leg kick.
That leg kick echoed throughout the space at West Red. He follows it up with another kick to the body, followed by a right hand. Impressive work from Al Jones as we're 90 seconds away from the completion of this fight, which has been an outstanding one.
Al Jones is putting it all together here. Quinn looks a little tired, and oh, nice round kick. Al Jones' corner is telling him to go forward, stop going back towards the cage, because if he goes backwards towards the cage, he's in the same position he's putting himself in.
There he is.
And there's the takedown defense again by Al Jones.
I'll tell you what, I think Al has done enough in this fight to win. If he can survive these final minute here, barring something, from Quentin Gaskins. But like you said, he kept moving back, and that's good instructions from his team to stay in the middle, circle.
I just think that you have to give credit to the fighter that is defending the takedown over and over and over again, rather than the fighter who's keep putting on offense and not being productive. The guy who is productive in this situation is Al Jones for stopping the takedown.
Totally agree with you. 30 seconds remaining here, round number 3. Will Al Jones pick up his second consecutive win? Or will Quentin Gaskins get back in the win column? Huge shots here from Al Jones, closing the show. What a great fight. Quentin Gaskins puts his hands in the air here, thinks he's the winner. Al Jones slumps to the ground in exhaustion, but he's got to hold his head high. He fought a great fight.
That was a fantastic fight, back and forth. Al Jones is feeling it on top of the cage. He's dancing. He's fresh.
Yeah, he can go another 3 rounds, another 15 minutes. Al Jones. Personally, I thought he did enough. Let's take a look at some replays here of the action, Jay.
Yeah, it was just back and forth, but Al Jones was definitely winning the stand-up with those 1-2s, but the kicks and the elbows were really what made him stand out in this fight. But it's in the judges' hands.
Al Jones smiling for the cameras. He'll look to even up his record to 3-3 if he should get the decision win. Quentin Gaskins, he took a lot of energy out in that first round trying to get the takedown. Went for it again in the second and third round. I think he only got one successful takedown. Spent a lot of time pushing Jones up against the cage. Judges are tabulating their scorecards right to my right. Jason's in the cage. He's going to talk to the winner of this fight. Tell you what, I'm glad I am not a judge, because that is a very tough job. And with that, let's throw it up to the octagon. David Diamante's got the official results.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Bill Mason, Daryl Porter, and Marcel Varela all scored this bout identically, 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Al Jones.
There it is, Al Jones moves on to 3-3 in his career.
I'm here with
Go
the
up to
winner,
Jay,
Al
let's
Jones.
speak with him.
Before the fight started, you said you told us backstage you were gonna be patient, you were gonna use your striking, your elbows, your kicks, and you did just that. Take us through the fight.
I mean, honestly, I feel like I disappointed my coaches a little bit. That wasn't my best performance, you know, but all glory to God. I mean, I'm so thankful to just be doing something that I love. I don't even see where my wife is, with my kids, but
They're here.
I just want to make you ladies proud. I hope I did that. I want to thank my coaches. There's so many people to thank right now, and I don't want to forget nobody. I'm very passionate about this. And, I feel like I didn't give it my all tonight, and I have so much more to offer than that.
Wow, it was a dominant fight. You won all 3 rounds. It's 2 in a row for you now. So what's next?
Yeah, get back to the gym, man, you know, and start working on some more things.
Everyone, let's give it up for Al Jones. He fought his butt off tonight. Al Jones, everybody.
Tell you what, Al Jones, very passionate about this sport. We talked to him before the fight, and he said, this is make or break for me. I won my last fight, but, you know, if I don't win this one, I might give up the sport. So maybe that explains, you know, the tears, the happy tears back there at the post-fight interview. But hats off to Al Jones, picks up the 3rd win of his career. More fights coming up next. Sergio